is one of those things that looks easy until you actually try to use it.
Exactly. You hear something simple like, she said she was tired, and you think, easy. Then suddenly you're like, wait, was it is tired? Was tired? Had been tired? What's going on?
And the worst part, Aline, you already understood the sentence. But when you try to repeat it, everything changes.
Yes, because English is not just about understanding, it's about transforming what people say.
Well, and that's exactly what we are going to do today. Learning how to report what someone said naturally and correctly.
Because this is something you use all the time at work, with friends, telling stories, even gossiping.
Especially gossiping.
So today we'll make it simple, practical, and useful from minute one.
So let's get started. And if you are listening to the Trainlang podcast or your place to learn English, get your free class with the link in the description or visit trainlang.com that you see there so you can learn English with the best online school. So, Aline, let us go to our usual fictional dialogue. I think we are just catching up after the weekend and after a week of holiday, I think too. So let us start, Aline.
Hey, Johnny, you won't believe what happened this weekend.
That already sounds interesting. What happened?
So I met Laura, and she told me she was leaving her job.
Wait, really? I thought she loved her job.
That's what I thought too, but she said she needed a change and wanted to move abroad.
Wow. Where is she going?
She said she was thinking about Canada, but she wasn't sure yet.
Oh, that's a big decision. Did she say when she's leaving?
Yes, she said she would probably leave in a few months.
Interesting. I talked to Mark as well, and he told me he had already quit his job.
What? Seriously?
Yeah, and he said he was starting his own business.
Everyone is changing their lives except us.
Well, speak for yourself. My boss told me we needed to work harder this month.
That's not exactly a life change.
Well, exactly. That's a problem.
Did he say why?
Well, he said the company was having some problems and that we had to improve results.
Classic.
Mm. And then he asked me if I could take on more responsibility.
And what did you say?
Well, I told him I would think about it, but honestly, I'm not sure.
You know what? My friend Anna told me the same thing last week.
What do you mean?
She said her boss had asked her to work extra hours, and she said she didn't want to.
Oh, good for her.
Yes, she told him she needed more balance in her life.
That's something I should say too.
You should, or at least say something.
Very good. Yeah, so interesting. No, just some reported speech here on this word. So let us go to our grammar section and let's break this down because what you just heard is exactly how reported speech works in real life. So let us go just talking a little bit about direct versus repeated speech. Lynn, can you help us with that?
Of course. So we said direct speech is simple, okay? She said, I'm leaving my job, for example. Now, the reported speech is, she said she was leaving her job. No quotation marks, everything changes slightly.
Very good. But then we have some common mistakes, okay? And here's where we want to learn, especially if you speak Spanish, there are some differences. So one big mistake could be, she said she is tired. So can you see where the problem is? The reported speech would not be she said she is tired, but she said she was tired. So in English, we usually move the tense back, and that is called backshift. So that's right.
Let's use real examples from the dialogue, okay? The ones we used. The direct speech, I am leaving. Then the reported speech, she said she was leaving. Or I will leave, future, she said she would leave, conditional. I have quit, he said he had quit.
Very good. Exactly. And okay, another common mistake that we might find sometimes also, no? For example, we can forget about the tense. She said she will go. Hmm. She said she will go. That would not be exactly the way to say it. You would say something like, she said she would go, right?
Exactly. So we need to be very careful when we see will in reported speech, it becomes would. Now let's talk about pronouns. This is another classic mistake. She said, I need a change. Well, that's what she said originally. She said, I need a change. But when we report it, we have to say, she said she needed a change. You must adapt the sentence to the speaker.
That's right. And then sometimes also we have the time expressions. So this is another important change, right? So if the sentence says today, then you cannot use the sentence today in the reported speech because you're talking about that day. And if the person said something related to tomorrow, you cannot use tomorrow in reported speech. You have to tell or you have to say the next day. And then if they said something about doing something now, when you report that sentence, you cannot use now. You have to use then. So to give you an example, she said she would leave tomorrow. So you couldn't say she said she would leave tomorrow because tomorrow is today, or maybe it was yesterday, or whatever. So you should say something like, she said she would leave the next day.
Excellent. Very useful. Now let's talk about questions, Johnny. This is where many students struggle because the dialogue, the original sentence was, as a matter of fact, a question. For example, can you help me? But when we transform it into a reported speech, it's no longer a question. He asked if I could help him. No do and no inversion and no question marks.
All right, interesting. And then we got also commands, very useful in real life. So if the boss says work harder, so you would say you would report that as he told us to work harder. And also another one, please help me. Well, she asked me to help her or him.
Wow, a lot of information.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick recap. So let's remember we need to change the tense, change the pronouns, change time expressions, and remove quotation marks.
And most importantly, think about meaning, not just the structure.
All right, your turn now. How would you say in English? Ella dijo, voy a trabajar mañana.
Okay, so think about the tense, think about time.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, please write your answers in the comments. We will be very happy to see them.
Fantastic, that's right. So if you're enjoying this episode, visit our website, trainlang.com, to improve more your English with a 100% effective method and a very complete e-learning platform.
Or scan the QR code to get your free class.
Very good. So let us then continue. We go just to our cultural section, and we will talk about famous quotes people still repeat.
Very good. Let's go deeper into something really interesting. Famous quotes that people still repeat today. Maybe they don't even know who said that.
That's right. And maybe we are learning something today, Aline. So,
True.
because some sentences are so powerful, they survive for centuries.
Let's start with Julius Caesar, for example. One of the most famous quotes in history is I came, I saw, I conquered.
And in real life, we almost never repeat it like that. We
No.
say things like, He said he had come, he had seen, and he had conquered.
Excellent. Now, another famous one from Caesar. Experience is the teacher of all things.
So we might say something like, Caesar said that experience is the teacher of all things. Wait a moment, Aline. ¿No habíamos dicho que había que hacer un backshifting? Que esto es un Caesar said that experience was the teacher of all things. ¿Por qué no hemos puesto aquí el backshifting con el pasado? Oh, because statements that in general are true, or scientific facts, or permanent situations, or situations described that are still true, like experience is the teacher, which is a fact, we don't do the backshifting. Lo dejamos como está. It's maybe just giving another example. No, the teacher said that the Earth was round. No, not was. Is round. Sigue siendo redonda. So we don't change
Forever.
that.
Very good point. Thank you very much, Johnny. Okay, let's continue with more famous quotes. Oh, I can see him on the screen. Let's move to Napoleon. One famous quote is, never interrupt your enemy when he is making a mistake.
And naturally, we report it like this. Napoleon said we should never interrupt our enemy when he is making a mistake.
Good one. Another powerful idea, often attributed to him, is impossible is a word.
All right, so we might say that he said that nothing is impossible.
Excellent. Okay, so now let's go toward most modern, more modern quotes. Let's move to Martin Luther King. I have a dream.
Well, we don't usually repeat it directly. We say he said he had a dream.
What about that one of Steve Jobs? Stay hungry, stay foolish.
Hey, he said we should stay hungry and stay foolish. Yeah, interesting, this one.
Now, what about movie quotes that are especially interesting because people often change them? For example, May the 4th be with you.
Oh, yes, I like this one, just Star Wars. So we could say something like he told him that the Force would be with him.
And what about I'll be back?
Oh, okay, that sounds like Terminator. So he said he would be back.
Very good. Life is like a box of chocolates.
All right. Forrest Gump?
Yeah,
Yes,
you're very good at it.
he said life was like a box of chocolates.
Wonderful. Very good. So here is the important idea. People almost never repeat quotes exactly.
Instead, they adapt them using reported speech.
And when they do that, tense change, pronouns change, structure becomes more natural.
Very good. And why this matters for you? Just well, because if you want to sound natural in English, you don't just repeat words, you transform them.
That's why reported speech is everywhere. Conversations, news, business, social media.
So next time you hear a quote, well, don't just memorize it.
Think, how would I report this?
Very good, because that's how real English works. So let us go back to the question. Do you remember the question? Ella dijo, voy a trabajar mañana. Oye, Aline, ¿cómo diríamos esto en inglés?
Have you got it? The answer is, she said she would work the next day.
Fantastic.
I'm sure you got the right answer.
Yeah.
Wonderful. We want to see it. Good. So now we want to hear from you. Tell us something someone told you recently using reported speech.
That's right. So, for example, my boss told me, my friend said.
¿Cómo crees que se dice esto? Si nos ves en YouTube, ponlo en los comentarios. ¿Te ha pasado alguna vez que te preguntan esto y no has sabido contestar? Cuéntanoslo. ¿Cuál fue la primera vez que aprendiste así? ¿Sabes otra manera de decirlo?
Así que sí, cuéntanos un poquito cómo ha sido tu experiencia también con el reported speech. Bueno, pues today, what have we learned? Well, we have learned about reported speech, tense changes, and real conversation examples.
Next episode, more of reported speech, questions and time references. Very important.
Very good. Bueno, pues prueba una clase privada gratuita con nosotros.
Te garantizamos que tenemos los mejores profes, como Johnny, y la mejor plataforma de e-learning, porque somos la mejor academia online de idiomas.
Muy bien, así que como ves aquí en el screen que te hemos puesto, si quieres saber qué necesitas para avanzar más rápido, pues escanea el código o escríbenos por WhatsApp y analizamos tu caso de forma personalizada. Así que sí, escríbenos al link de la descripción o al QR que tenemos aquí.
Estás a un clic de hablar como un nativo.
Wow, genial, Aline. Pues oye, muchísimas gracias por acompañarme en este podcast y nos vemos en la próxima.
Sure.
Bye, bye.
See you soon.